It's Friday, it's 4 a.m. and I'm popping into the docks to pick up a trailer that came in on the boat last night. What's on that trailer I will deliver as I'm on my way home, with my last stop actually being in Bridgewater. As always, the first thing that I do is my daily checks. Everything is in good working order this morning, even if I am waiting for some bulbs that are on order for my Michelin men, because I would prefer it if they matched. I'm just going to fill out my daily checks on the daily checks app. Haven't got a trailer at the moment, so I will do that when I get into the dock. Right, we're done. It's a bit rough in here. The docks are just around the corner, so I'm there in no time. Oh, no one's in here. I can go straight through the kiosk. Cannot believe there's no one in it. That must be like the first time ever that's happened. CB16. Ideal, thank you very much. Cheers. So now I just need to find this trailer, and I do know what it looks like. So that should hopefully help. I've just spotted it through the gap, and I'm going to be very surprised now of why I didn't see it as I came in, because it is right there where I've just come down through into the docks. I was looking at the open booth. I turn round, pull myself up in front of the trailer and reverse back in underneath. But before I reverse right back onto the pin, I get out and check the height of the fifth wheel. Reverse back, heard the click, 2 shunts forward. Now I can go pitch up the trailer. I put the safety clip on, I connect all of my Susies, wind the legs up, and then put the number plate on. So this is my trailer. And as you can see, my trailer is full of trailers. I look for my paperwork in the side locker so I can check what I have on the trailer to the paperwork. I'm just going to have a little check inside. You can see that I have 2 cattle trailers behind. One's going to one place, one's going to the other. Then I have 4 trailers stacked on top of each other. I've checked the straps there, they're super tight on the back, so I'm just going to put the engine on, do my checks around the trailer, and then I can go. Everything is looking good on the trailer, so I will record that on my daily checks app. Right, that's all done. I'm signing my trailer release form that I need to hand in on my way out. I've got my cup of tea, and now I can head down to first drop near Abba. There's a couple of ways I can go. I can go down through cross country, or I can go down the motorway. There's actually only about 5 minutes in it, and in a truck the motorway would be quicker. You're not stopping, starting round about narrow sections of road. So that is what I'm going to do. So far I've had a good start to the day. I've found my trailer straight away and I'm hitched up, ready to go in no time. I managed to get a quick drink of tea while they check my trailer at the gatehouse, and then I can be on my way down to Abba. This trip will take me around 3.5 to 4 hours, and I should make it to my first drop just as they're opening up. A lot of people will see truck drivers turn up to their workplace in the normal working hours, but quite often the truck driver's day starts long before an opening time and long after a closing time. My journey takes me down the M53, onto the M56, down the M6, then onto the M5 at Birmingham, followed by the M50, and then onto the A40. My first drop is not far off of the A40. When I pull in round, I'm not really sure where I need to go, so I just tuck myself in out of the way. Right, I've pulled in. I can't tell where I am supposed to go. I'm hoping they have got a ramp, because otherwise I'm going to really struggle. I'm just going to pop in and see someone and see what they can do. I speak to the lady on reception and she finds a man for me that unloads the trailers. He wasn't expecting me in today, but nevertheless, he has a plan. So I've been told to go around the back and park. They don't actually have a ramp here. He's gone to go and get a handler, and he will be about 40 minutes, which isn't too bad because I could probably do with a break. Hopefully I can get 45 minutes in and then he'll be here. They watch me back into a spot where I will be tucked out of the way, as there's a lot of people in and out of this yard all day. Put myself on break and I'm gonna make a cup of tea, I think. But I'm actually offered into the waiting room for a cup of coffee whilst I wait. So after my coffee, they've come back with a handler and they have a forklift. This is going to be a very tricky job to get these trailers out, but we have some sensible people here that we've made a little plan, and hopefully it will all go to plan. The first thing I need to do is pull into the middle of the yard so it's easier to unload. I've now been here for just over an hour. Unfortunately, when the chap went to get the handler, the fork extensions were in a different place, so he also had to go and find them before he came back to unload me.
The first thing I do is get everything opened up and the curtains open so that we can see if our plan will work, like we think it's going to.
So what we're going to do, we're going to pull the stack of trailers out of the back with the forklift slightly, then we're going to get the middle trailer off and then push the stack of trailers back in, and unfortunately they're having the bottom too, so everything's got to come off and go back on again.
Before anything gets unloaded, I need to unstrap the stack of 4 trailers and the middle cattle box. As you can imagine, there are quite a few straps holding these trailers in place, so it does take a little while to remove all of the straps, and I'm very grateful for a bit of help from the chaps here. They attach the forklift to the tow bar on the bottom trailer and slowly pull it out of my big trailer. We couldn't take the stack of trailers off first because the tow bars of all the trailers were out of the back door, which are illegally allowed a metre of overhang at the back of the trailer. The reason we needed to pull the stack out of the back door was because the stack of trailers was over the tow bar for the cattle box. The chap makes sure that the forks on the handler are as wide as they'll go, and then we put the fork extensions on so they can get right underneath the trailers. We watch carefully as he puts the forks in underneath the trailer to make sure that they don't catch on anything. Then we put lumps of wood in across the forks to make sure it's more stable. The chap slowly eases the trailer up, making sure that it is balanced. And once we're all happy it's stable, it can be lifted off of the trailer so that the cattle boxes sit better for travelling. Only the back set of wheels are put on. So to make it easier for moving it around the yard here, we put the first set of wheels on the trailer. We make sure that it's as high as it will go on the jockey wheel so that the wheels can be put on. Then the trailer can be hitched on to the back of the pickup and moved out of the way. The next job is to push the 4 stacked trailers back into my trailer. This time they are being pushed further into the trailer, as the tow bars on the trailers need to clear the back posts on the back of my trailer to be able to be taken off. The top one is actually quite a small, light, single axle trailer and is not too much trouble to take off at all. Once we find the balance point, the chap lifts it and reverses back until he's clear of my trailer where he can bring it down. Once the trailer's off, we put the wheels on so it's easier to manoeuvre around the yard. This trailer will need to go back onto my trailer as this one is destined for Bridgewater, but for now we just pull it out of the way. We quickly move on to sorting out the next trailer, which is also quite a light trailer, but yet slightly bigger than the last one. Once again, this one is fairly easy to get balanced and lift off. Once again, we decide to put the wheels on the trailer so it's easier to move around the yard, and all the wheels have been stored inside the trailers that they belong to, so it's easy to work out which wheels go with which trailers. We then pull this trailer out of the way, ready to be put back on shortly. The next trailer to come off is a slightly bigger double axle trailer. This one is also quite easy to take off and balances very well. This trailer also needs both sets of wheels to be put on it. This trailer is staying here, so it's hitched up to the pickup and it's put into storage. Finally, we're on the last trailer to be taken off of my trailer here. This one is a triaxle trailer, and because it's on the bottom, it has all its wheels on it. The forks slide nicely underneath and then it can be lifted off, although this one needs a little bit of help with its balancing point. And because this one already has its wheels on it, it can be just taken away with the pickup. Just because everything's unloaded, it doesn't mean it's the end of our work here today. The 2 smaller trailers need to be put back on as they are destined for a dealership 80 miles away. These 2 trailers are actually really easy to put back on, and because I now have space on the trailer, I put them on separately rather than stacking them. And because they both now have the wheels on, it's going to make it a lot easier when I get to my next destination. The next thing I need to do is strap everything down nice and secure so nothing moves while I'm travelling. It's been quite warm out here in the sunshine today, but I'd rather that than it be pouring down with rain.
That's everything strapped up, the curtains are closed. I'm just going to turn myself around and I can go down to Bridgewater.
This hasn't been the easiest of deliveries and it was a bit of a puzzle, but working with sensible people who can problem solve and get the job done makes it a whole lot easier. I also have a nice big space to turn myself around in before heading down the lane to the main road. I head back towards the A40 past Abba and I follow that all the way down till I pick up the A449 towards Newport. And at Newport I head east on the M4. I hit a little bit of traffic just before the bridge, but it does seem to clear before I get to the second Severn Bridge. For those of you that don't know, this bridge used to be a toll bridge, and you used to have to pay to get into Wales, but not to get out. Once I've crossed the bridge, I pick up the M5 heading south. I've already rung ahead to Compass Tractors to let them know that I'm coming. I've delivered M-Tech trailers in here a few times now on a curtain sider, so I know I won't be delivering straight into their depot. I'll be heading down the road where they have use of a ramp. As I pull in, the chaps are here ready and waiting for me. Although we do have quite a big problem. There is a car parked right in front of the ramp that we need to use. If I can't back up to the ramp, I can't get these trailers off. With a bit of ringing around and trying to find out whose car it is, we eventually get it moved. It's just something that we could have done without, especially on a Friday. I get myself backed up to the ramp and then we can go and get everything unloaded. I also adjust the height on the back of the trailer so it matches the height of the ramp. The chaps help me get everything unstrapped and get everything out of the way of the back door so that the trailers can be rolled out and down the ramp. It doesn't take too long before the first trailer is being rolled out, and a lot of that is thanks to the guys at David Taylor for putting the wheels on the trailers. Whilst they roll the first one out, I get the second one unstrapped, and that too gets rolled out nice and easy. The next and last job is the cattle trailer at the front. I make sure it's all unstrapped, and because I've worked with these guys a few times to get these trailers off, we've worked out a good way of getting these trailers off quickly and efficiently. They've also brought down everything that we could possibly need to get the trailer off. We jack the front up and support it with bits of wood, which allows us to get the jockey wheel in underneath. And once the jockey wheel's in, we can remove the jack and the pieces of wood. We can then roll the cattle trailer to the back of my trailer. This trailer is a bit heavier than the last two trailers, so we're not going to roll this one down by hand. Instead, this will be the job of one of the grenadiers. The tow bar on the trailer is a little low to go on the back of the grenadier, so I lift the back of my trailer up a little bit more. It works and we get it hitched up, along with the safety cable and the lights. Once he's happy the trailer is on nice and secure, he pulls it down the ramp. He can see his side quite well out of the window, so I watch the trailer out on the other side, as getting these trailers out through the back doors is quite snug, and we definitely don't want to damage the mudguards on these nice new trailers. I also watch the rear of the trailer as it comes down the ramp, as it does get quite close to the ground. Once everything's out, I set about packing everything away, making sure all the straps are wound up and put back neatly into the trailer. I also need to do the buckles up down each side of the trailer. There was only one set of wheels on the cattle box as we took it off, so they need to put the other two sets onto the trailer before they can take it back to their depot. There's two of them here and there's three trailers, so one of them will have to come back for the little trailer. And I must say, they both look very smart being pulled out. Even the tyres have been penned on this one. All I need to do now is pull forwards, get the back doors shut, level the air on the back of the trailer, and then that's me done for the week. I just need to go and get some AdBlue and head back to the yard. That's the trailer empty now. All I need to do is fill up with AdBlue before I go back to the yard. My truck will last a week on one tank of AdBlue, so it's easier to fill it up on a Friday if I've got time, rather than trying to find somewhere in the week. We've had quite good weather this week and my truck actually looks quite clean. It's always a good feeling when you get to Friday and it's still looking tidy. Where I go to get AdBlue is on my way back to the yard anyway, and it's just a short distance from where I delivered through North Petherton. I've pulled in to the fuel bunker just off junction 24 for some fuel, and there is a Hinkley bus in front of me. So Hinkley Point is a power station which is near here, and all the buses come in here to fill up, and they're a pain in the backside because they take so long. I was waiting behind one day and all they did was fill up with 4.3 litres of AdBlue. And I will definitely be getting more than that today. And whilst I'm filling up, I have a little surprise. Bumped into me dad and my uncle down here. This is the first time they've seen this lorry in real life. They also want to see how low to the ground it goes. Although I can't work out if they're impressed or not. Now that I've put the air down, I better make sure I put it right up to get out of here, because it is a bit of a dip in the road. It's not the easiest place to get out of sometimes, but kindly somebody has let me out. The yard isn't very far away, I just need to head through Bridgewater itself to get there. Once I pull into the yard, I get myself parked up. I do have a bit of time today, and what I want to do is, I'm not going to wash just yet, I have a little errand to run. So I'm just going to jump in my truck and pop down to a place called Mayflower, which is a company that deals in a lot of hydraulic stuff, and they do pressure washer bits as well. And I bought something last week for my pressure washer.
So I want to get in there before they shut. They had to order it in and it came in Monday, but obviously I'm away a week, so I couldn't go and get it. And I also want to talk to them about another little project I want to do.
If you know Bridgewater, Mayflower is just off of East Quay.
So I'm here at Mayflower Hydraulics and got my little fittings that I need for my pressure washer.
And then I head back to the yard to get the truck washed. And by running that little errand first, it's given my wheels a chance to cool down.
I'm just going to get the pressure washer all set up and hopefully I can show you a bit more than I did last time. I'm also not going to put my waterproof overalls on because it is really hot today and I think I will burn up. Right, so I'll show you the actual pressure washer in here. All I need to do is turn the switch on at the back, put the choke on, and then hopefully I might start it first time.
As you can see, the truck is pretty clean anyway, but because of the type of work we do and the places that we go, it does get quite dusty. So I'm just giving her a quick swirl down so she's perfect for next week, when it will most probably rain. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who joined in the live last week. I have now solved the commenting problem and hopefully I'll be able to do some more in future. The very last thing I'm doing this week is taking my card out.
Come on. Hey. Right, that's it for the week and I'm off to get fish and chips to take home with me.
There was a bit of a queue, but it is Friday and I'm sure everybody has the same idea. I quickly download my card when I get home and then I enjoy my much deserved fish and chips.
I'm all showered and clean now after a busy week. Hope you have a great week and thank you for watching.
Don't forget you can get my merch at f28print.com.